So, Jessica, last hour when you were with us, you told us that despite the pending appeal from the government, despite the uncertainty, you would advise people in these 7 countries to get onto planes now and try to come to the U.S. Why?
Yes, I would. These are people who have proven to the Department of State that they are entering the U.S. for the purpose of their visa. So it's the burden of the person who's applying for the visa to prove, after a lot of difficult questioning and having to make sure that nothing is said that indicates any other intention than the reason for their visa. So people who are coming on a student visa, that they are only coming for that purpose, or people who are coming for the purposes of joining their spouse or to get married in the next few months even. These are people that have plans, jobs, schools that they need to attend, and they need to get here because they were granted that visa and have the right to enter.
And we need to be careful, Jessica. I caught myself this morning having this conversation and using 2 terms that often come with a stigma that is unfair: refugees and migrants. But as you point out, these are students, these are professionals, these are tourists, these are spouses coming to be with their significant other. So we should be careful about how we discuss the people who are trying to come in from these 7 countries.
That's right. It's not only the refugees that are being prohibited from entering with Donald Trump's order. It's everyone who has something other than a permanent resident status who is prohibited from coming in from these 7 countries, and it affects a large number of people that are coming in for a lot of different reasons. And the refugee vetting process is very, very difficult. There are clients of mine who have been waiting 2 years just the wife and child of someone from a country that's not even suspected of terrorism, and it's taken 2 years to join the family. So this is not an easy vetting process for either the refugee applicants or visa entrants.
Yeah, Danny, your expectation of the timeline here, do you expect that we'll hear or see that appeal filed? We know it's filed electronically, so they could do it at any hour, sometime this morning, sometime today?
Things are moving very quickly. I mean, we went from yesterday just having an oral order that was relayed to us by word of mouth, to having a written order, to having a statement by the White House that they will appeal. So the Ninth Circuit, they can appeal to the Ninth Circuit, and theoretically, they could hear it even over the weekend. We could have action on this within just the next couple days. But the ball is firmly in the court of the government at this point. And by the government, I mean the White House and the Department of Justice.
Are there any protections, Jessica, for people who, I guess, essentially did what they did last weekend? They get onto a plane, they have valid visas, mid-flight, there is potentially a stay of Judge Robart's order, this temporary restraining order, and by the time they get on the ground, they're banned again. What protections, if any, are there for those people?
Well, if you are detained by the government and your freedom is restricted, you have the ability to file a habeas corpus petition challenging your constitutional violations, the right to have a court be involved in the process to make sure that you are really properly being protected and that your rights aren't being violated unlawfully. So ultimately, there are protections in place if you have the ability to enter the United States and you have a right and improved entrance into the United States. But it's going to be tough because the government's going to need to allow lawyers to have access to people that are detained, and that was an issue throughout this week as well. But we're hoping that Border Protection will follow the order and will allow visa entrance into the United States without an issue.
All right, Danny Cevallos and Jessica Stern, thank you both.